There are paths in life that seem to lead us on endlessly, yet never reach their destination. We walk, we run, we hurry, but the farther we go, the further we drift away from ourselves. In the noisy world of desire, fear, and ignorance, humanity has lost the ability to listen to the silent voice within. Somewhere amid that chaos, meditation and Buddhist philosophy emerge like a pure stream quietly flowing through the soul, washing away the dust of suffering and delusion. Meditation and Buddhist philosophy, these are not merely two parallel concepts, but two doors opening to the same space, a realm where consciousness returns to its original stillness, where wisdom is no longer obscured by the fog of ego. Meditation is the path of experience, Buddhist philosophy is the light of understanding. When these two merge, one learns not only how to sit still but also how to see clearly, to see oneself, to see life, and to see the true nature of all things. On the Buddha's Wisdom Journey channel, we do not seek a religion, nor do we worship a philosophy. We simply walk together on a journey of discovery. Why do humans suffer, and how can we be free? For as the Buddha once said, he taught nothing but suffering and the path to its cessation. Yet the deeper truth is that this path is not somewhere far away, it is right here, in every breath. In every moment of mindfulness. At its deepest level, meditation is not about closing the eyes and forcing thoughts to stop. It is the art of awakening within the long dream of life. When we sit down and simply observe the breath, becoming aware of our own presence, we are returning to a quiet flow where there is no separation between self and world. In that space, everything simply is, neither right nor wrong, neither good nor bad. There is only the vast serenity of existence. As for Buddhist philosophy, it is not a system of beliefs or fixed doctrines. It is a spiritual map, revealing the nature of suffering, its causes, and the path to liberation. Everything begins with the understanding that all things are impermanent. All things are non-self, and all things arise in dependence upon causes and conditions. These three doors, when opened with mindfulness, lead us beyond the bondage of birth and death. Into inner freedom, something no power, wealth, or fame can ever grant. On this journey, meditation is the lamp that illuminates the inner darkness, while Buddhist philosophy is the path that prevents us from getting lost. When the light and the path become one, we begin to see clearly that there is nothing more to attain, nowhere else to go. Every pursuit of happiness outside ourselves is but a continuation of ignorance. In the very moment we pause, observe, and smile at the present, happiness reveals itself. Some say, meditation is the religion of silence. Yet within that silence resounds the deepest voice of the universe. It is the voice of wisdom, of compassion, of understanding beyond words. And when we truly hear that voice, every philosophy and every teaching becomes merely a raft to cross the river, not something to cling to, but something to let go of once we reach the shore of awakening. Buddha's wisdom journey was born from that spirit, not to preach for persuasion, but to share for awakening. Each video, each story, each lesson on this channel is a small candle lighting the path of the soul. Even if only one person in darkness finds the light of peace, this journey is fulfilled. In a world full of worries, people are easily caught in the whirlpool of becoming someone. Yet Buddhism teaches the opposite: return to being yourself. Nothing more, nothing less. Meditation teaches us to see things as they are, not as we wish them to be. And when truth is seen with awakened eyes, all suffering dissolves like morning mist under the sunlight. The journey of meditation and Buddhist philosophy is not merely about studying metaphysical concepts but about living them fully. For philosophy without practice is just theory. And meditation without wisdom can easily lose direction. Only when both operate together can one truly walk the middle way, not too tight, not too loose, where everything returns to balance and clarity. This is not an easy path. It demands patience, courage, and absolute honesty with oneself. Yet it is precisely this difficulty that makes it precious. Every drop of sweat in meditation, every moment of facing one's fear, is a step toward freedom. Meditation and Buddhist philosophy, this is not a topic, but a journey home. Home to oneself, home to truth, home to the boundless compassion that has always been within. When we touch that place, this world, despite all its turbulence, becomes as light as a cloud. And that is the purpose of Buddha's wisdom journey. Not to promise happiness in the future, but to help every soul rediscover stillness in this very moment, where Buddha nature has never left us, where peace has always been waiting to be realized. In the depth of Buddhist philosophy, all phenomena arise from the mind. The mind itself is the source of happiness and suffering, of birth and death, of bondage and liberation. And for that reason, meditation, the art of returning to observe the mind, becomes the key that unlocks the entire door of the Buddha's teachings. Without meditation, Buddhist philosophy is merely beautiful words. But without philosophy, meditation easily becomes a blind effort without direction. When these two elements merge, wisdom and experience unite, and the path of enlightenment becomes as alive as the breath itself. Meditation is the method, philosophy is the foundation. A person who meditates without understanding the nature of impermanence and non-self will soon be trapped in the desire to attain a special state, a kind of peace painted by the ego. But when that person understands that every feeling, whether still or restless, is merely a passing phenomenon in the mind, they no longer cling. Philosophical understanding prevents us from falling into illusion. Meditation makes philosophy the living breath of daily life. Buddhism does not ask us to believe in anything, it invites us to see. That seeing is not with physical eyes but with the eye of wisdom, the one that sees through all forms to realize the truth of impermanence. When we meditate, we begin to recognize. See that clearly, the mind stops struggling, for it understands, nothing is worth clinging to, nor is there anything to run from. That is the essence of Buddhist philosophy experienced through meditation. Not knowledge from books, but direct realization through living experience. Like one who drinks water, only they know if it is hot or cold. When the mind is calm, wisdom arises. When wisdom arises, the mind becomes calmer. That circle is not theoretical, but the natural rhythm of awakening. In meditation, we learn to return to the breath, but more deeply. We are learning to return to ourselves. Amid countless streams of thought, the breath is the only still point, the doorway into the present. When our mind no longer runs after the past or worries about the future, the present becomes as clear as a tranquil lake. It is there that the philosophy of non-self begins to be felt. For if we observe carefully, we will see, the breath is not mine. It comes and goes by itself. Thoughts are not thought by me, they simply arise and vanish. This body, these emotions, even the I we've clung to for years, are but temporary aggregates of causes and conditions. When this is seen clearly, the self, once believed to be the center of the universe, dissolves like smoke, leaving behind boundless emptiness and lightness. That is freedom, a freedom that comes not from possession, but from letting go. Buddhist philosophy calls it nirvana in this life, where the mind no longer wavers though the world keeps turning. When meditation is practiced in the light of wisdom, we do not escape life, but live amidst it without being swept away. The one who truly meditates is not the one who runs from suffering, but the one who looks directly at it and smiles, knowing that suffering is only a phenomenon of the mind, and that mind can be transformed. Buddhist philosophy teaches, when the mind is pure, the world is pure. When a meditator looks deeply into their own mind and sees its true nature, the outer world also changes. Not because the world has changed, but because the way we see it has. A clear mind sees peace everywhere, a clouded mind sees trouble everywhere. Therefore, meditation is not merely a personal practice, but an act of love toward life itself. When one person becomes still, They bring stillness to the whole world. The wisdom of Buddhism does not lie in intelligence, but in the understanding of non-self. One may read thousands of sutras, but if they still think, I know, I am wise, I am better than others, they have not yet touched the essence of the way. Conversely, in a single moment of meditation, when the I dissolves and only the breath remains, that very moment contains the full wisdom of the Buddhas. When we understand that everything arises dependently, that nothing exists independently, compassion naturally blooms. For when there is no boundary between self and others, harming anyone is the same as harming oneself. Meditation opens the heart, philosophy clarifies the mind, and when heart and wisdom unite, the human being becomes complete. Some may ask, if everything is impermanent, then what is the purpose of meditation? The answer lies within that impermanence itself. Precisely because everything changes. Suffering does not last forever. Meditation helps us realize that sooner, live lighter, and not be swept away by the waves of fleeting emotions. Philosophy helps us understand the nature of reality. Meditation allows us to experience that truth in every breath. On the journey of Buddha's wisdom journey, meditation is not seen as a technique, but as a way of life, a mindful way of living, where every action, every word is illuminated by awareness. When we drink water, we know we are drinking, when we walk, we know we are walking. It sounds simple, yet to truly live in mindfulness is a whole journey. It requires us to gradually release our habits of reaction, to deeply listen to each movement of the mind. And with every moment of awareness, the mind becomes a little brighter, a little lighter, a little closer to true freedom. Meditation and philosophy, ultimately, both point toward the same thing, enlightenment. Not some distant mystical awakening, but the clear seeing of truth right here and now. Seeing that suffering exists, but it is not an enemy. It is a bell of awakening, calling us home. Seeing that happiness is not out there, but within the peaceful mind. Seeing that everything, though transient, can become a gateway to wisdom, if we learn to see it with mindful eyes. As we step deeper onto the path of meditation, we begin to realize that what we once thought was outside, work, people, the world, is actually a reflection of our own mind. All suffering does not come from circumstances, but from the way we perceive them. A person with a peaceful mind, even living amid storms, still feels serene. A restless mind feels uneasy even in a quiet place. And for this reason, the Buddha taught, by oneself is one defiled, by oneself is one purified. No one can walk this path of awakening for us. Meditation is the process of returning to the present, but the present is not merely the moment of now. It is the space of pure life, where no trace of the past or expectation of the future remains. When the mind is truly still, the past vanishes like smoke, and the future no longer has a shadow, only a stream of life flows. Clear, vast, boundless. There, we touch what is called suchness, tathata, what Buddhist philosophy calls seeing things as they are, perceiving all phenomena in their true nature, neither adding nor subtracting. From this seeing, wisdom naturally arises. Not the wisdom of reasoning or speculation, but insight, the kind that sees to the root of all things. When we look at a flower, we see within it clouds, earth, water, sunlight, time, and countless other conditions. Nothing exists independently, everything in tur is, relying on one another to be. And if we look even deeper, we realize that even the one who is looking is part of that very flower, no boundary, no me and it. This is the insight of non-self that meditation reveals, and the profound foundation of the Buddhist philosophy of dependent origination. Through practicing meditation in daily life, we begin to clearly see one simple truth: every mental reaction has a cause. A word that makes us angry does not have power on its own, it only triggers the seed of anger already within us. When the light of mindfulness shines, we no longer blame others or circumstances, but see that every emotion is just energy arising from within. How we face it determines who we are. The meditator neither suppresses nor indulges, but simply observes. When the observation is deep enough, the energy of anger dissolves on its own, like mist fading in the morning light. At this level, meditation becomes a process of total transformation. It is no longer confined to meditation sessions, but permeates all activities, when walking, eating, speaking, or working. Every action becomes meditation, every breath a sutra, every step a blossom of mindfulness. Buddhist philosophy ceases to be abstract theory and becomes a living pulse beating through every moment. Buddhism teaches that suffering, dukkha, does not lie in things themselves, but in attachment. When we want things to be different, when we insist, it must be this way, suffering begins. Meditation teaches us to let go, but not to reject or abandon, rather to release the need to possess. When looking at a flower, we simply look, without needing to pick it. When living a moment, we simply live, without needing to hold on to it. Because we know, everything comes and goes like waves, impossible to grasp. And nothing to fear. Buddhist philosophy and meditation, when united, lead us to a deep understanding of the middle way, the path beyond the two extremes of indulgence and asceticism. Of attachment and aversion, of existence and nothingness. The middle way is not compromise, but clarity, seeing that all opposites are temporary expressions of the same flow of life. When this is understood, we are no longer pulled to either side. The mind becomes free, like the moon reflected on the water, shining, yet clinging nowhere. Those who practice meditation in the Buddhist spirit gradually realize that peace does not come from changing circumstances, but from understanding them. With mindfulness, we see things as they are, uncolored by emotion. A criticism can become an opportunity to learn, a failure can become a lesson in impermanence. Nothing is an enemy if we know how to look with awakened eyes. And when we live this way, the philosophy of transforming delusion into awakening becomes reality in everyday life. Someone once asked, "Does meditation help me escape suffering?" The answer is, meditation does not help us escape suffering, it helps us understand it. And only through understanding does suffering dissolve. Just as when we enter a dark room, fighting the darkness only tires us more. But if we light a lamp, the darkness disappears by itself. Meditation is that lamp, and Buddhist philosophy is the way to keep the lamp burning, undisturbed by the winds of life. In modern society, meditation is often misunderstood as a relaxation technique. Of course, meditation can reduce stress, improve sleep, and calm the nerves, but those are only surface effects. The deeper purpose of meditation is not comfort, but awakening. For awakening is the foundation of true freedom. When we are fully aware, we are no longer victims of habits, emotions, or circumstances. We become masters of our lives. But masters in silence, not through control, but through letting go. That is also what Buddhist philosophy always points toward: nothing to add, nothing to subtract, nothing to grasp, nothing to chase. When the mind rests completely in the present, unattached to anything, even as the world keeps turning, we remain as spacious as the sky. In that vastness, all phenomena come and go, like clouds drifting across the sky, beautiful, alive, but not real. The meditator neither tries to chase clouds away nor to keep them. They simply watch, smile, and let the wind carry them away. In that depth, we begin to sense something subtle. Meditation is not about doing, but about not doing. Not in passivity, but in non-interference. Just as a lake becomes clear on its own when it stops being stirred. The less we strive to attain meditation, the more meditation reveals itself. The less we seek enlightenment, the closer it comes. This is the profound paradox that only true practice can unveil. And it is here that Buddhist philosophy shines, for all of the Buddha's teachings lead us to the point of holding on to nothing. Even the teachings themselves are but a means, not an ultimate truth. The Buddha once said, "My Dharma is like a raft. Once you have crossed the river, do not carry it on your back." That saying contains the ultimate spirit of meditation and philosophy. Freedom lies not in holding, but in releasing. When we understand and live this, meditation is no longer a separate practice, it becomes life itself. Every moment is meditation. Every word is Dharma, every encounter a lesson in non-self and interdependence. And then, one day, we realize there is no meditator, no one who is meditating. There is only breath, only life. Only an infinite stream of stillness ever present. When the silence in meditation deepens, we begin to realize that what we call mind has no form, no boundary. It is neither inside the head nor outside the body. It belongs to no one, yet it is the very foundation of all experience. Just as the air envelopes all things without discrimination, consciousness embraces every emotion, every thought, every arising and passing form. It does not need to eliminate anything to be pure, for its nature is already transparent. It is only because we identify ourselves with the surface waves, anger, anxiety, fear, that we forget the deep, still lake beneath, which has never been disturbed. This is where meditation touches the core of Buddhist philosophy, emptiness. Not nothingness, but non-fixedness. Every phenomenon, whether physical or mental, does not exist independently, it arises through interdependence and ceases according to conditions. When we truly understand emptiness, all attachment dissolves. There is no longer a self to protect, nor an other to judge. There is only the profound realization that everything is a manifestation of the same living current of energy. Meditation helps us not only to understand this with the intellect but to feel it with our whole body and heart. When we sit still, simply breathing and knowing that we are breathing, the mind stops chasing its stories. A small gap appears between us and our thoughts. In that gap, freedom flashes forth. And that very freedom is the beginning of wisdom. For when we are no longer pulled by thoughts, we begin to see, not through the filter of ego, but with the eyes of mindfulness. Buddhism calls this direct insight, seeing without analysis. Just as when we gaze at the night sky, without thinking, we know it is vast. The wisdom born of meditation is like that. It does not come from accumulating knowledge, but from removing the veils that obscure pure seeing. When delusion settles, wisdom arises naturally, like the moon revealed when clouds disperse. And then, in that stillness, something miraculous occurs, compassion naturally blooms. No one teaches it, no one forces it, yet when we see that all beings are interconnected, how could we harm anyone? How could we despise, get angry, or envy, when we see that others suffer? Just as we have, wandering through darkness as we once did. In meditation, when the wall between self and other collapses, love is no longer a moral duty, it becomes our very nature. Buddhist philosophy calls this loving kindness, compassion, joy, equanimity, the four sublime states of the awakened mind. But if we merely memorize these four words, we only understand them intellectually. Only through meditation, when the mind truly settles, do we feel them as warmth radiating from the heart. Compassion is not an act of helping out of obligation but the natural joy of a heart no longer divided. Joy is not excitement, but the quiet peace of flowing with life. Equanimity is not coldness, but love without attachment, love without condition. Thus, meditation and philosophy merge once again. Meditation is where compassion arises, and philosophy is the light that guides compassion so it does not sink into sentimentality. If we have love without wisdom, we are easily swept away by others' pain. But if we have wisdom without love, we become cold and detached from humanity. Only when both coexist does true awakening unfold. There are moments in meditation when we suddenly realize that all fears have dissolved, no longer afraid of loss, gain, death, or life. For in that moment, we see clearly, there is nothing to lose, nothing to keep. Life and death are but two rhythms of the same breath. All things come and go, yet existence continues, like the ocean that never dries even as its waves break upon the shore. When we understand this, fear disappears, and gratitude naturally overflows, gratitude for each breath, each moment of existence, each chance to witness this life even once. This is the point where meditation reaches the deepest essence of Buddhist philosophy. Nirvana is not somewhere far away, it is the stillness of the mind amidst the movement of life. It is not something attained after death, but something that exists right now, in every mindful breath. Nirvana is already present. The moment we stop seeking, it reveals itself. When we live with a meditative mind, life ceases to be a list of tasks to complete and becomes a journey of awakening. Every task, every encounter, every joy or sorrow becomes an opportunity to practice mindfulness. Those who understand this no longer ask, "How do I meditate in daily life?" Because life itself is meditation. A person washing dishes mindfully is meditating. A person listening with full presence is meditating. For meditation does not depend on posture, but on attitude. And when the truth of impermanence is deeply understood, we begin to cherish every small act, knowing that nothing repeats twice. This drop of water, this breath, this person before us, all are unique and will never return again. Therefore, those who practice meditation no longer chase future happiness. They know that happiness is not a destination but a way of walking. Each steady step, each peaceful breath, is an expression of enlightenment. In the light of Buddhist philosophy, there is no final point to reach, for enlightenment is not a goal, but the inherent nature of all beings. When we live in that truth, life becomes light as the wind. We still work, love, and face challenges, yet inside there is an ocean of calm. What once brought us suffering, praise and blame, gain and loss, now becomes mere ripples on the surface. The meditative mind no longer sways with the world, but shines quietly from within. This is the wondrous power of mindfulness. It does not change the world, but transforms the way we live in it. Buddhist philosophy is not separate from daily life, it permeates every action, every thought, every relationship. Meditation is how we make that philosophy come alive. Amid the sound of traffic, amid the worries of survival, if we pause for just 1 second, breathe, and know that we are breathing, that moment, we have already returned to the path. That is meditation. That is also the Dharma. And in that moment, we see that every path, every philosophy, every meditation method all point to one thing: awareness. When the mind is fully awake, there is no distinction between meditation and life, between Buddha and sentient beings. There is only one endless stream of being illuminating itself. And in that light, we understand, no one has ever gone, and no one has ever come. Every journey is but the dream of the mind, when the practitioner goes deeper on the path of meditation. The layers of fog in the mind begin to dissolve. At first, there are only a few brief moments of stillness amid countless scattered thoughts. But gradually, as mindfulness becomes steadier, we realize that within that stillness there is a flow of awareness taking place, unlimited by form or time. That is where Buddhist philosophy ceases to be lines of text memorized, and becomes a living experience, a breath, the light of each present moment. In meditation, there is nothing to be achieved. Yet paradoxically, precisely when we no longer wish to attain anything, the mind becomes open, deep, and clear. Buddhist philosophy calls this non-attainment, no grasping, no possessing, no forcing. From this point, all efforts to seek truth outside fall away, leaving only a profound silence. There, philosophy and meditation dissolve into one another. One is wisdom, the other is experience. Together, they guide human beings back to their own origin. The practice of meditation, if it is only a technique, will be dry like a branch without roots. But when nourished by Buddhist wisdom, meditation becomes a living path, a river of understanding and love. Meditation helps us to see clearly, not with the eyes, but with a mind free of thought. Philosophy helps us to understand deeply, not through reasoning, but through the vision that penetrates the essence of impermanence. Non-self, and interdependence. When these two streams meet, human life is transformed from its roots. A meditator can sit in the middle of the marketplace and still be as silent as in the depths of the forest. For stillness does not lie in sound, but in a mind that no longer wavers. Buddhist philosophy teaches that suffering arises from ignorance, from believing that we are a separate individual who must struggle, defend, and affirm the existence of the self. Yet in meditation, when all notions of ego dissolve, the boundary between self and others fades, leaving only an infinitely open space. In that space, compassion naturally arises, without effort, without condition. That is why those who truly go deep into meditation become gentle. They do not strive to be good, but simply see clearly that anger, greed, and jealousy are only temporary clouds drifting across the sky of consciousness. When the nature of these is seen, one is no longer swept away by them. Buddhist philosophy describes this state as liberation from ego clinging, not disappearance, but freedom from being dominated by the ego. Every step on the meditative journey is an opportunity to return to reality. When drinking a sip of water, when listening to the wind, when feeling the breath, all can become meditation. But without the foundation of understanding, one easily falls into what is called shallow meditation, stopping only at temporary relaxation, without touching the depth of enlightenment. It is precisely Buddhist philosophy that is the lamp guiding us in the right direction, helping meditation become a tool of transformation rather than merely a refuge from suffering. When we understand the nature of impermanence, we stop searching for the eternal. When we penetrate non-self, we stop clinging to the narrow I. And when we clearly see dependent origination, we begin to feel gratitude for every small thing, for everything is interconnected in the wondrous web of life. In that understanding, meditation becomes a natural flow, without strain, without compulsion. We sit still not to reach a special state, but to live fully in each present moment. Many people begin meditating with the desire to find peace, to find happiness. But the more they practice, the more they realize that happiness does not come from attaining, but from seeing. Seeing that all suffering, all afflictions, all fears arise from ignorance. And when understanding is present, darkness vanishes, just as night withdraws when the sun rises. Buddhist philosophy does not speak of rejecting the world, but teaches us to see the world with new eyes, the eyes of awakening. Then, life is no longer a chain of random events, but an opportunity to learn, to let go, to understand, to love. Meditation does not pull us out of life, but helps us live more deeply within it. Every task, every encounter, every difficulty, all become living meditations. For when the mind no longer resists, everything that happens becomes dharma, becomes teacher. There is a beautiful paradox: only when we stop trying to be enlightened do we truly begin to be enlightened. For enlightenment is not a goal to be reached, but the recognition of what has always been present. It is like someone searching for light but not knowing they are holding a lamp in their hand. Meditation helps us stop and see that lamp. Buddhist philosophy helps us understand that its light has never gone out, only been obscured by the delusions of the mind. On this journey, every step is a return. Every breath is a doorway into profound stillness. We need not look for the Buddha elsewhere, for the Buddha is not outside us. Buddha is clarity of mind, understanding, unconditional love within ourselves. When this is clearly seen, we understand that meditation and Buddhist philosophy are not merely paths leading to enlightenment, but are the very expression of enlightenment. And when that understanding blossoms in the heart, everyday life becomes sacred. Every action, every word, every thought carries within it the energy of mindfulness. Presence becomes meditation, philosophy becomes breath, and life becomes dharma. At that moment, every simple thing, a smile, a step, a glance, contains within it the vast universe of understanding and compassion. That is the moment when a person begins to touch true freedom, the kind of freedom that does not come from power or control, but from letting go of every attempt to control. That freedom is not found outside, but is the unconditional stillness within the mind. It is not a reward, but the inherent nature of life itself. When we sit still long enough, live deeply enough, and understand clearly enough, we realize, there has never been anything to seek. Everything has already been here, right in this very moment, when the journey of meditation and Buddhist philosophy reaches maturity, we begin to realize that everything the Buddha taught, every concept of impermanence, non-self, or dependent origination, ultimately serves one purpose: to help human beings return to themselves, to return to that clear seeing which has never been obscured. And meditation is the bridge that connects knowledge with experience, theory with reality, knowing with seeing. All the deepest philosophies only become meaningful when we live them. For a single drop of genuine meditative experience is worth more than 1,000 words if they remain mere theory. When the mind abides in mindfulness, when wisdom permeates the breath, life suddenly becomes extraordinarily simple. We no longer strive to prove anything, nor seek to become someone. We simply live, but live with awareness, with the deep knowing that everything unfolding carries within it the lesson of awakening. Meditation does not make a person supernatural. It makes them truly human. They laugh, they cry, they hurt, they love, yet beneath all these expressions lies an unshakable peace. That is the wisdom of Buddhist philosophy dissolved into every cell of life. We can still work, love, face failure and loss, but within, there is a stillness untouched by circumstance. That is, nirvana amidst daily life. When we understand this, the world ceases to be an enemy, becoming instead a mirror reflecting our own consciousness. Every person we meet, every event that occurs, is an opportunity to understand ourselves more deeply. Thus, meditation is no longer something we do, but something we are. Philosophy is no longer something we learn, but something we live. In each moment, the Dharma is not in scriptures but in every step, every breath, every gaze filled with understanding and compassion. The Buddha once said, "No one saves us but ourselves." These words are not pessimistic, but an affirmation of the power of mindfulness. For each of us carries the seed of enlightenment within, and with the nourishment of awareness, it will bloom into wisdom. Meditation is the soil, philosophy is the light. When these two meet, the seed within us grows, sprouting in the stillness of the heart, flowering in unconditional peace. As the mind begins to clear, we realize something simple yet profound: suffering has never been the enemy. It is but a gentle reminder that we have strayed from the path of awareness. When seen with understanding, suffering becomes a teacher, no longer a burden. From then on, meditation is no longer avoidance but a courageous facing of every aspect of life, even the darkest corners of the soul. And it is in those very shadows that the light of awakening is truly seen. The meditator need not seek peace in distant places, for they know peace is the nature of the mind. They need not chase happiness, for happiness is already present in every breath. They need not resist impermanence, for they understand that impermanence is the natural pulse of the universe. Buddhist philosophy points out that all phenomena change, yet the awareness that sees them, that still, silent mind, has never changed. And when we rest in that awareness, no wave of life can sweep us away. The beauty of meditation and Buddhist philosophy lies in this: they do not ask us to believe, but to see. They do not demand that we become someone else, but invite us to return to who we truly are. In a world of illusions, if we can simply pause to see, the gate of liberation opens. There is no need to go far, no need to seek a teacher elsewhere, just look deeply into this very breath, this very feeling, this very moment. There, the Dharma is alive. There, truth is revealed. When we truly feel this, gratitude naturally arises. Grateful to life for giving us the chance to learn, to err, to awaken. Grateful to suffering, for through it we learn the value of peace. Grateful to meditation, for teaching us to listen to ourselves. And grateful to Buddhist philosophy, for showing us that all things are impermanent, so we may stop clinging, stop resisting, stop fleeing. For when we cease to grasp, life becomes as light as the wind passing through our hands. At the end of this journey, we understand that meditation and Buddhist philosophy are not two separate paths, but two expressions of the same spiritual stream. Meditation is the practice of philosophy, and philosophy is the language of meditation. One is the silence of experience, the other the clarity of words, both leading to a single point, the complete awakening of the human being. And that is also the deeper purpose of the Buddha's Wisdom Journey channel, not to teach anyone, but to walk together on the path of awareness. Each video, each reflection is an invitation: pause, breathe, and return. Return to the serenity already within, the wisdom already present, the compassion that has never left us. If this sharing has made you pause for a moment to listen to your own breath, if you have felt a touch of peace passing through, then this journey has not been in vain. Share your reflections in the comments, for sometimes, a single sincere word can become light for someone lost along their path. And if you wish to continue walking together on this path of mindfulness, where we explore the depth of meditation, wisdom, and compassion, please subscribe to Buddha's Wisdom Journey. Each video is not merely a lesson, but a moment of stillness for you to return to yourself. For ultimately, the path of enlightenment is not somewhere far away. It begins right here, in this breath, in this heart, in the stillness you are now feeling. When we truly live in that moment, there is nothing left to seek, for we have already come home.